What's up, everybody? Garrick Rumley here with Catholic Connector. I'm here with Sawyer Rambo, and you left a comment on my YouTube channel. What, yesterday?
Yesterday, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and you were saying how you had built a ministry at your church. You're a Reformed Protestant, came to the Catholic Church, and realized there wasn't a group there, and just started to like make one, create one. It's really kicked off. You said I don't really know a whole lot about it, and so I asked you to come on. You said yeah. You're the very first person I've ever interviewed, period, on a YouTube channel.
Go.
So thanks for coming on. But yeah, in the comment you said you're like this is kind of like just basic Protestant ministry stuff, which I totally relate to because I feel like Protestants just crush it, and so I wanted to have you on and just see really like what you've started, kind of how you've made it successful, and kind of where you plan to go. So, can you start by maybe like a short little quick introduction, but then just explain like what ministry you started and what like how many people on average attend?
Yeah. So, like you said, my name is Sawyer Rambo, and I'm from Kentucky. And just in Kentucky in general, just the context is very Protestant, especially very Baptist. And so that was the world I was raised in. That was the context that I knew. That's really the only context of church I had ever experienced prior to being exposed to the Catholic Church a little bit later in life. So for me, it was all kinds of ministries. You would have a Sunday school class. You would have a small group for your age. You would have youth group. There's ministries everywhere. And I think that can sometimes be a detriment, but I think every church needs at least some sense of community and organization going on. But when I started going to my local parish, part of the issue is that we're just such a rural context. There's only one parish in my whole county, and there's not a lot of people that go there because it is so Protestant. But I think there was some hunger because many Protestants have been exposed to Catholicism online and through some other things that people wanted something. And it wasn't just me. It's just that some of my friends converted and they wanted something too. And so I had my wife, who's kind of into tech stuff, make a flyer for us. We put up the flyer, and there were 10 people on the first night because people I think, are just hungry for the word and
You
for
handed
community.
out flyers?
Now, I made a flyer, posted on Facebook.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yes.
Did you was it just like so was it just a post to like all of your friends?
No, it
Like
was on the parish Facebook page. It said, "Hey,
gotcha.
St. Charles Fellowship Young Adult Group will start meeting on Sunday nights. Here's the address," kind of thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that the way it's going now? Is like you meet once a week on Sunday nights?
Meet once a week on Sunday nights. Yes, sir.
Cool. So what's the format? Like what's the group? What do you do normally?
So we've kind of built up a rhythm from night one, and we try to keep it really simple. So we'll do some kind of devotional prayer together after a meal. So we rotate who brings in the meal. So we'll bring in the meal, hang out, eat, and then we'll do we have a big devotion to St. Faustina. So we'll do Divine Mercy Chaplet, or we'll do Rosary. One night we did Always of the Dead, like for All Souls Day.
Okay.
We'll just like a devotional prayer as a group, and then we'll go over like one or two catechism questions, and then we'll pray. Now we have a guy who comes in and does a saint of the week for us, and then we just hang out. We play pickleball, or we'll talk, or some nights we'll have like a bonfire. We'll just hang out for a few hours.
That's super cool. What's the age gap of the group?
Yeah, so I'm probably the upper end of it, like 30, 31, and then the
Okay.
lower, like just out of high school, like teens
Okay.
and 20.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
I'm surprised you reached so many young people on Facebook at that age. I feel like they're
Yeah,
like on TikTok or Instagram or
yeah,
something.
that's true. But in our context, like everyone has to be on Facebook. Like that's what
Uh,
everyone communicate. Like my
yeah.
job, like my school uses Facebook. Like everyone just is on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Um, was there anything, I guess, I mean, I don't know, it sounds like it's like a unique context, but like maybe like could you share what your Protestant church did really well that I don't know, maybe you were like missing. Obviously it was like the group, but like
Mhm.
I I don't know a whole lot about I've actually when I've wanted to like form some groups and I started looking up YouTube channels and just searching on YouTube and just found some channels about like how to grow churches, how to grow groups, and the majority of them are Protestants and they like crush it on YouTube. They get tons of videos or tons of views. But is there anything specific that you feel like Protestants just besides the fact that they're good at the ministries, but like what makes them good? Like what do they do well?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I feel like part of it is it. it's almost a pastoral mindset. Like the priest is focused on the sacraments. This is such a good thing. It's so beautiful. It's what drew me to the Catholic Church. But in a lot of ways, a pastor of a Protestant church is first and foremost a teacher. So it's like a classroom setting. And so you have these classes that form that have their little emphasis maybe on an age group or a topic. And that's just so natural in the Protestant world because it's like a school, basically.
Yeah.
Everything's education. And so it's natural to form these groups to learn things. And so I think that's part of it is just the nature of Protestantism. But also I think, like you said, once one church gets good at something, it spreads like wildfire through like all the surrounding Protestant churches because they want to get to, and they're like in competition with each other. Like they're trying to each other in a way that like Catholic churches aren't trying to do.
Yeah.
Right. Trying to get this huge, big following.
Yeah. Have you thought about like figuring out a way? How far is the nearest church to you besides your church?
So the Baptist church I go to Baptist and Catholic church right now because of my family situation. But the Baptist church I go to is right next to my house. And
sorry, I meant like Catholic church. Like what's the nearest Catholic church to you besides the Catholic church that you attend?
Yeah, it's like 5-10 minutes away.
Okay. All right. So not too far, but they're not like super close. Have you thought about like, have you seen or looked up what their church does? Do they have anything similar?
Another Catholic church?
Yeah, like the Catholic church close to you, like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes away. Did they have something at all similar?
I don't think so, as far as I know, because once we started meeting, we started getting couples and singles from the surrounding area, from bigger churches than St. Charles. We started getting people from multiple other parishes that were much larger, some in the city further away. We're now driving to the St. Charles Fellowship because I guess no one else is doing what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I started a men's group in my parish, and someone else started as like a monthly thing, but then there were like 15 people that came the first couple times, and then it quickly started dying down. It was like once a month, and I feel like the problem with it's cool that I literally just made a video today, and I was saying like, how do you build a ministry? And one of the things I was saying is you got to do it every week. Because I also started donuts and coffee in my church. Because when I was raised Catholic, we did coffee and donuts, and I loved it. Because like you got to hang out with your friends after church, and as like a young kid, I wasn't into the Eucharist. You know, like I didn't really care, if I'm being honest. And but like I liked going to mass because I was altar serving, and then I got to hang out with my friends afterwards. It was like this big social thing. And our church wasn't doing coffee and donuts, and so I was like, you know, I'm just going to start this. I talked to a couple people and they were like, oh, let's just do it once a month because like once every week is like a lot to start out with. And I was like, yeah, but if you just do it once a month, then you kind of bum out the kids who, you know, maybe miss out that 1 week. Maybe they go to like the different mass or whatever. But then it's like not something that they can rely on. And if they're gone that 1 week, maybe they're on vacation, then they don't get donuts at mass for like 2 months, you know? And in the same way, like a men's group, the once a month group that was started, if it was on a Tuesday evening, and that I think it was the first Thursday of every month. But if you're busy on Thursday evenings, you know, then either you never make it, or if something happens, you can't go for the next 2 months. And so having it every week, I feel like is definitely crucial. Especially if you want to get something going, you know, it's like people want something regular. And I feel like people are like totally craving this right now, you know, because I think it was, Mike Rowe who, he did the Dirty Jobs, you know what I mean? And it was I saw him interviewed one time, and he's like, people just like real, you know, they were like when his show came out, it was all this like kind of puff and flair and all that stuff. And his show was him just like getting in the trenches with like regular day dudes. And it was just him having conversations. And I feel like in a similar way, like people just want like genuine relationships. They don't want like any flair. They just want to like get together, have a good time. And the church is just surprisingly bad at that. And it's like you're saying, it's not hard to start something because so many people want it. But if you don't build one, if there's nothing to go to, a lot of people don't have kind of like the oomph or maybe like the courage to like start one because they're like, well, what if nobody comes to my group? And then you'll feel like even more of a loser, you know?
And it's just hard to know what to do at the beginning. But once you do it the first time and kind of break that seal, you're like, okay, we'll do it again next week. That's it. I can do this. And I think doing it weekly too, that we're all together, men and women, is really helpful. Like even our kids come and hang out, because then if you want to do something once a month, like a men's night, you have that built-in weekly thing. So if the monthly men's hang, that's fine. They can come to the next Sunday. They can get together.
Yeah.
And so like feeds into other things that you can do, like a men's and women's ministry, when you have that singular thing that you're all coming to.
Yeah. Have you faced any challenges in how long has it been going on now?
So we started right after Easter 2025 when my friends came into the church.
Okay.
That converted, and then we've been going since then.
Cool. Have you branched out and started any other groups, or is it still just this one once a Sunday?
It's this one once a Sunday group, but we also have like a men's hang and a women's hang, like
Okay.
that one group, but it's the same people.
Okay. So does it like alternate weeks? Like 1 week it's for women, 1 week it's for men, 1 week it's
No,
for
the
families?
Sundays are always everybody. And then
Okay.
once a month we'll have like a men's hangout, or the lights just went out. Give me a second. And then once a month, like the girls will hang out, or the girls will go watch the kids, and we'll all go have a bonfire and do fun guy stuff, and then we'll switch or whatever.
Okay. Gotcha. See, we do the opposite. We do men's groups every week.
Mm-hmm.
The women's group, honestly, we've kind of had a hard time like getting going.
Yeah. That's a struggle.
What's that?
Women's groups can be a struggle.
Yeah. Any insight to that? Have you ever like talked to anybody? Like, I don't know. It's like all the women I know, they're like husband or wives of my friends, and so I'm like, I don't know, feel a little awkward like going up and be like, what's the problem here,
I think a big thing, community is so huge for women.
Yeah.
Like they have a really hard time like being pulled out of the community they're already in, or feeling like they could be someone who starts a community. But once it gets going, they love it.
Yeah.
But it's getting that to happen. So it's almost like the guys have to start the community, and then the women kind of branch off from, because a lot of the women in the women's group are the guys' spouses or girlfriends or cousins. Like the men start, like it was really a men's group, and now women started to come, and now the women do their own thing every once in a while too. And so it's almost like they got drawn into the community aspect, and now they can really meet together. But an idea of like a women's group starting independently, I don't know how that would happen.
Okay. Yeah. What time do you meet on Sundays? Because I've been thinking about doing like a once a month family thing. Because we do one after our 10 a.m. mass from like 11 to 1. But it's kind of like everybody's just there because they're at mass,
Right.
And it's like people hanging out, but I feel like it's important for people to go out of their way to hang out. And then it kind of, it's a statement. It's like, I came out of my way, like I want to be here, rather than like I'm here because it's convenient. So what time do you do it at?
So our meal starts around 5.
Okay.
Like people open at around 5 o'clock, and then we'll eat maybe like 5:15, 5:20, because everyone's just chatting, hanging out, cutting up. Eat 5:15, 5:20, and then we start prayer at 6 usually.
Okay. And then prayer goes how long?
It depends on what devotion we're doing, but anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes.
Okay. And then you just hang out after that?
Catechism after that.
That's right. Okay. And then you hang out.
Yep.
So what time does it usually go till?
So it depends. If we're playing pickleball, it might be 9, 10, but usually people are funneling out by like 7:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And last question, is there anything that you do to like specifically foster like genuine relationships, so that like when somebody's new and they come into the group, one thing I've had a hard time doing is at our once a month like family event after the 10 a.m. mass, people will come after mass, but then it's hard to get the people who don't know anybody to feel comfortable going into the groups where obviously everybody knows each other, and then to somehow make like a real connection and like maybe exchange a phone number or whatever. But the people on the outside never feel comfortable doing that. They want to like be invited in. So is there anything maybe that you do, or any ideas that you have of like way to like foster genuine like relationships that honestly just lead to like outside of the parish, like people inviting each other over to each other's houses and stuff like that?
It's a little bit probably more different for my context, just because a lot of us are like someone's second cousin, because it's so, or we all went to high school together, like things like that.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that's really helped, especially the men, feel like they can actually hang out with each other, was we did 2 things. We did Exodus 90. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
We did it that honestly led to my serious faith transformation.
Yeah. We did Exodus 90, guys, but then also just like doing something really maybe a little bit stupid and fun, like a poker night or like a hot tub night. Like I feel like when guys do something like that together, they feel more comfortable texting, hanging out some other time, because they've done something that's very casual.
Okay. Great idea. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time, man. I'm going to, reach out to you. Yeah. I feel like we could become good friends.
Sounds good.
If I ever make it to Kentucky, I'm gonna hit you up.
Yeah, come to Paducah.
Paducah, Kentucky. Right on. Okay, cool. And would you want to share your church, or would you want to just keep that private?
So yeah, it's St. Charles Catholic Parish. It's a little parish in Carlisle County, Kentucky.
Cool. Awesome.
Yep.
Thanks so much, Sawyer. I appreciate it. First ever interview.
Hey, you did it.
All right. God bless, man. Good luck
You
with
too.
the rest of your ministry. I hope it bears a lot of fruit.
You too.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Take care.